lot more sense here. I think that Team 1 will most likely ban out the Lion here, just because they are signing the defense. They already banned out the Lion once.
I think, yeah, I think they'll definitely be removing the Lion and the Clash. I think they're set in stone, but ultimately it's Black Dragons now. I think they need to start looking at.
And, you know, we didn't really see them run too much of a Glaz, and the Glaz that they did run wasn't really that effective on border, so I'd be expected, did they ban out the Glaz here just to make it easy on their defenses? Just because I think that Team 1 will rely quite heavily on Ion on the Glaz, and very effective on Bank as well, especially for that Vault push.
Yeah, definitely, and obviously it was a big part, it was a big force in removing Glaz again for those long sightlines Bank offers, but no, they're going to take out Monty.
I think that's the first Monty ban we've had the entire season.
Gotta really not like Monty. I guess we'll have to see. Obviously, we haven't really seen Team 1 run too much Monty, if I recall, generally. We've only really seen it. We saw Liquid play some Monty. We saw Julio playing some Monty, but maybe they know something that we don't about this map.
Well, I mean, you know, Monty's still a pretty good pick here for Bank. Maybe they want to be running the Glaz, and that's why they're not banning it. Would expect a Clash ban to come out from at least one of these teams. And yeah, there we go. It's going to come out from Black Dragons, surprisingly. So it's going to leave it all into the hands of Team 1, who, yeah, I think at this point it's going to be Mira, Echo, Maestro, one of those.
They've got, it's one of the 3 stands at this point, and it is Echo. This drops Echo twice in a row, has been banned from play. And yeah, to be fair, that makes perfect sense. Echo and a lot of points on this map becomes very hard to get rid of.
Yeah, pretty hard to get rid of. You're going to move into round number 1 here on Bank. Don't forget, it is 1-0 currently to Team 1 in terms of the series count. If they take this map, they do take the series, and they will eliminate Blood Dragons. But it's best of 3, so there's still plenty of opportunity for Blood Dragons to come back here. This is their map pick, so we are expecting them to do a little bit better on this than they did on border. And they are starting our attack, and they've had much better attacks.
Oh, yeah, it was, I'm not going to say it was night and day. I think, again, as we said, they were just struggling at the very beginning. Their defenses started to come together a little bit more after they'd been tested a bit, but their attacks came in much more precise, much more focused. They knew what they were doing. Add to that, now we're on a map where they want to come here. They want to bring the fight to this map. I'm excited to see how they handle themselves and see if they can start pulling some rounds back. And obviously, they want to try to pull this to the third map.
Locate and defuse bombs.
They are going to try and do so. Indeed, let's get through into round number 1, see exactly how it's going to go down. It's going to be interesting, for sure, coming out here from Team 1. Because it's the CEO defense to start with, and the fact that there's only the 1 ACOG coming out kind of suggests it's going to be a very reserved strategy. On top of that, they have a castle and a mirror. This is a fairly standard strategy coming out from CEO defense, but at the same time, it does very heavily rely on keeping certain walls closed. And, you know, with the Zofia on the board, it's going to be hard, but this is a very surprising sort of pick to go, and maybe Blood Dragons aren't quite expecting this.
So obviously the Glaz was unbanned, and the use of the castle currently, they've just locked off janitors. They've locked off one of the windows onto CEO by the looks of it, and then they've done the CEO door, and they've left all of those windows around.
Ion is going to quickly find a fight downstairs with RDZ. Going to fill his pistol, trying to do something here. Toxic Babe's going to go down. Toxics are going out. Iblex takes down Small. It's already a complete disaster. Ion picks another one out. Another one. What? Ion's crazy. He gets a 3K, takes Globals and Levi off the board, and is going to leave it Slash all alone. And we're only 40 seconds in, and everyone is already dead.
Wow. There I was, making a very slow and calm point about this, and then Ion just decided, no, I want to end this round now. And wow, that was, you can't really say much more than you did. That was a big take. You can see Slash's, I think Slash has kind of come to terms with this round may be over. A lot of moving backwards and crouching, but Ion, wow.
Just absolute domination coming out from Team 1. A very, very quick push coming out there from Blood Dragons. I like the idea behind it, but it bore absolutely 0 through. All got shut down immediately in a flawless round coming out from Team 1. Beautiful plays coming out from Ion there, but great from Iblex to support him there. and allow him to get the rest of the frags. But wow, what a disaster for Black Dragons there to start off the round.
Yeah, they're gonna probably scratch that off and go, okay, let's let's ignore that first round. Let's come at it again. Fresh eyes, fresh ideas. We're going down to lockers and CCTV now. We're gonna take a completely different take. Obviously, a similar kind of setup from the defenders. They got the Maestro, Castle, Legion, Mirror, and Alibi, but a very different point.
Yeah, this may start to set the tone for the rest of this game. It looks like Team 1 are not messing about on Bank. They intend to find as many fights as they can and are going to meet the aggressors head on wherever they can find them. I'm expecting GDN to put his Maestro Cam down on the police car in Garage just so he can face in and get a lot of grips on what is going on there. But I'm also expecting iBlacks to play this fairly aggressively.
Yeah, well, as you said, it's set a tone. I think they've kind of picked up that Black Dragons are a team that starts to get a little bit better as the game goes on, and I think Team 1 are just not going to try and give them any of that opportunity. They're going to keep shutting them off, keep trying to pick these fights. You said it was the fact that they had iBlacks there to stack up on Iron as well, was ready to pick that fight. I'm kind of curious. I want to see if Team 1 are going to try and keep that pressure, or they were just going to use that as a one-off.
Yeah, I mean, the most of this defense strategy is fairly default coming out here from Team 1. They played border fairly default as well. So, I mean, we're not seeing anything too imaginative, but it's going to be iBlacks and Ion immediately finding kills. Ion with a pistol whip as well. Just runs all the way up into sewers, gets right into their face, and already Black Dragons are dropping like flies. Levi trying to find a fight, but he's going to go down very early on. Ion takes him down! What just happened? What a disaster!
I am running out of words. I really am not sure what is going on. This is unbelievable play from these guys. That is just a pair of them frag hungry. And they are refusing to let anyone in the bank.
Yeah, Small is just going to peek it out, but oh, he does actually manage to take down iBlacks. He's going to try and secure the kill, and he does so successfully. But he's going to be tracked by the Alibi. Prisma getting detected here. Small does manage to run down, as the server room says. Sees what he can do, sees the Alibi, sees another Alibi. You just killed the Alibi, Small. You know those are Prismas. He's going to peek it out. He takes down GDM, but Panico from the top of the server says takes him down. Team 1 take round number 2. Not flawlessly this time, but wow, it was almost.
So I did say, are they going to keep up that same pressure? And lo and behold, yeah, they are very happy to keep up that same pressure. Obviously, this time they lost a couple of people. The Glaz came in from a completely different side, as the Glaz had done before. But at the same time, you've got to think where this ends. How long can they keep doing this? What's
kind of ironic about this is a Monty is probably what Blood Dragons needs right now.
Yeah, that is a very fair point. Bring a Monty. But alas, he has been locked out. So you've got to think, obviously, Black Dragons from this point, I mean, there's 4 of them in tunnel very quickly. They tried to take it very quickly again. They got locked off. And it even, to be fair, looked like the Glaz was pushing tunnel and then rotated out of there as soon as 2 or 3 defenders or attackers went down. So they've got to kind of diversify their attack.
They've got to diversify their attack indeed. I think that there's just a huge amount of info coming out on Team 1 right now. And as soon as they hear of a push, everyone is right on it. Particularly iBlacks and Ion, but a lot of the other people are there ready to refrag if necessary. And the fact that there's a Rook and a Dock now coming out, I feel like it's going to be a spot.
Worse. You know, I'm sure you're familiar with Lord of the Rings. You know, when Legolas and Gimli are having their competition, they're counting numbers. I'm pretty sure, you can't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that's what Ion and iBlacks are doing right now.
GDN has just boosted himself. He's ready to go for the run out. Ion will be doing it from the other side as well. Puts a cam out, but Hoaxon from the other run out does take down Levi. GDN takes down Slash, and this is just BMing at this point. Small and RDZ will quickly move into the servers to try and take advantage of the chaos around the rest of the map. But already 2 members of from Blood Dragons off the board. Small does manage to find the pick onto Iron. However, this is not a complete disaster. It is recoverable. Small instantly goes down to GDN all the way from Kitchen. And now it's down to Globals and RDZ. RDZ does manage to find the refrag into GDN. It's just a frag fest from either way. Oh, beautiful shot from RDZ. Takes the head clean off of iBlacks. And this is the closest round we've seen so far. It's a 2v2.
I just don't really feel like I'm playing Siege right now. That is how this is playing out. This is absolutely insane. This is Hogsword finding one. Global's locking it down, and it's now a 1 versus 1 with 2 minutes left on the clock.
But they got plenty of time to think about what they want to do and how they want to play this. Panico going to be holding down onto the objective, but I mean, there's still so much time left. There's still so much utility left on the board from pretty much everyone here. Global's going to be droning it out. Panico does manage to shut down the drone instantly. Does move up fairly aggressively to try and go for a peek here. Should hear that Zofia is going to try and push in and go for a plan. What? What an aggressive blind spot from Panico, but no. Panico will shut down Globals. Beautifully played from Panico there at the end, but what is going on in these rounds?
I really don't know at this point, but I am having a great time. This is one of those matches that you just kind of you read about afterwards and you think, how could it have been that aggressive?
So there's a play style in Rainbow.
Yep.
If you go to the main menu in Rainbow, you click multiplayer. But the second option down is a thing called ranked.
I've heard of this. I've heard stories.
Some people may put this game as a kind of ranked play style.
Yeah. I've heard tell of this ranked game mode, and I'm honored to be watching a match of it right now. I think this is everything that I was promised it would be.
I mean, Border was pretty dominant coming out from Team 1 as well. I mean, Black Dragons did manage to keep it up on their attacks, but this is just something else. 3-0 to Team 1, and sometimes the score count doesn't quite match up by how close the rounds are, but this is absolute domination by Team 1. Not only that, but it's been an absolute peak fest.
Yeah, we've got 3 more ACOGs on defense as well.
And a very different defense to how Team 1 ran it originally, because they were running, you know, Legion and stuff like that. They had an actual strategy going on, and then they realized, oh, we just peek everything. And so it looks like that's what they're going to do.
You can see GDN setting up those castles where I pointed. That was my very original point. In the very first round, before any of this started, I was going to point out that, oh, he hasn't placed castles there. And then apparently it hasn't mattered at all. But that is what I was going to make. If you guys remember 3 rounds ago, that's a good place to put castles to cover glass. But hey, it doesn't matter. I'm amazed. No. Ion takes down Levi. I was about to say, I'm amazed no one has died yet. And then someone instantly gets picked. That is the ACOG Doc finding a frag. Trying to look for the second. You can see Globals down there trying to find the return fire.
Absolutely disappointing coming out from Blood Dragons here, but Slash is going to get all the way into Banana very quickly. He could go for a little bit of a hop in here, tries to get quickly into the site. RDZ moves up onto Elevator Hallway. Could be a bit of a crossfire coming out here. Slash going to give his position away, but RDZ going to take down Panico, but GDN instantly trades it right on back. RDZ finds yet another kill. Lightbox goes down. RDZ almost going to go down for it. RDZ finding his 3rd kill, takes down GDN. And now all into the hands of Ion to try and hold off the attackers here. Candles are going to go out, and that is just horrible to deal with. RDZ with a beautiful frag fest coming out from him. Blood Dragons find their first attack round, but yeah, wow. There was actually pretty good there from the IQ. So RDZ knew there was someone in conference, so the IQ just went for the wall bang and just tried to pre-fire.
Yep.
Acted as a distraction.
Completely.
The mirror looks the other way. RDZ pushes in and gets the kill.
It was some brilliant play. Brilliant frag play. This is like a team, but everyone is entry fraggers, including the defense. This is a 10-man entry frag game.
A 10-man entry frag. I like it. Yeah, sure. We'll go for that.
Locker's CCTV we go to for the final defense round. Legion, Mirror, Maestro, Valk, and Alibi. Against Zephyr, Ash, Thermite, Twitch, and Ying. They have dropped off the amount of ACOGs.
They have. It looks like we're getting a little bit more serious with it. It does very much remind me of the Liquid vs. FaZe game that we had, which was very, very peak heavy during the second map. So we'll see how this one goes down. We'll see how Team 1 try and pull this in. But yeah, it looks like they are going to be playing a little bit more reserved with it, realizing they're not going to quite get away with this aggressive strategy anymore.
No, they've thrown a game into chaos, and instead now they're going to, well, to be fair, it might work. If Black Dragons are expecting it again and they start pushing hyper-aggressive, and for the first time they meet a solid defense on point, it could just be easy picking off for Team 1. Maybe this Maybe this is one of those fabled 300 IQ plays I've heard about.
So there is a Ying for the very first time, really, that we've seen too much being used. I mean, we see a lot of Ying ban coming out, and we were talking about this a little bit before, but maybe you can walk us through why we see so much Ying ban.
Well, Ying is an aggressive point leader. So the thing about Ying is the counter there is Jaeger. So those ADS charges can take up a Ying. However, the power of Ying pushing against that and how quickly it is to clean up an ADS or just remove an ADS using Sophia, using flashes, using anyone else. Don't know how the ACOG Ion missed that frag there. Really could have taken some damage into Slash. Doesn't drop the Maestro as well. Kind of going a little bit of good luck, bit of bad luck there for Slash. But you can see now they're starting to try and push, and Ying is just so aggressive. Slash gets a frag on iBlack, but Ion finds the refrag there against Slash. And you can see now the battle of the garage has begun. Ion with a beautiful pick against Globals.
And GDN finds one of his own RDZ, goes down. This garage push still not looking too good. Levi's still going to be holding it all down. Seeing what he can do here. Ion getting very aggressive with it, waiting for the piece to come through. How is that not a headshot? Levi with a double kill takes down Ion and GDN's heads clean off. That's a 2v2. Not looking too good for Levi right now. Will be drones are going to be going out. Small returns through into the staff room to see if he can go down server stairs and push from that way instead. But wow, aggressive plays coming up from both sides. Left down to the two FBI operators now. Hugzog will be holding down onto the bottom of server stairs. I wonder if the Ash is even going to realize this. No, she's not! Just runs in blindly. Hugzog guns her down. All down to Levi now, the Fragmite, to try and bring this in. Has both of his Techs and Dynamite left remaining. It seems he's going to be pushing down onto loading docks now. See what he can do here. See what he can make use of. Going to go with the pre-fires, but Hugzog from the other side is going to take it down. Team 1 take round number 5. And that was very interesting.
I think that one round was the same length of time as all the previous rounds put together. I think that was...
You may be very right.
I think someone crunched the numbers on that. We swap over now a 4-1 up for Team 1 after, I think, what can only be described as an exceptionally chaotic defense, or a loose, aggressive defense style. And then we see the first blitz being brought of this setup. And it makes me wonder, that blitz, that Ash, that Ying, are we going to see that same kind of push speed?
If there's no 6th pick onto a Jaeger here from Black Dragons, I'm going to be very disappointed. But look at the amount of ACOGs there from Black Dragons. They are not giving up on this peak everything playstyle. Although, you know, playing a lot of cogs and just peaking aggressively on CEO can be a very legitimate strategy.
No, yeah, that's obviously, if it works. And to be fair, we say if it works, Team 1 have just proven that it can work. They've, as crazy as we are describing this game to being, they're 4-1 up. These are some of the best guys in the world. They're making this strategy work. Everything is viable if it works. If it gives you those positive results, it's viable. Don't listen to what other people say or Reddit says. But at the same time, we've got to see now how this translates. They've chosen all ACOGs. They're going to potentially stay aggressive with it. It's anyone's guess how this round is going to go.
And Globals will destroy it. Bandit Battery. I just want to point out as well that, yeah, this is not looking like any sort of reserve strategy at all. RDZ and Levi both going to go for runouts now. Let's see if they can get any spawn kills at all. RDZ going to be running out, looking to the left. But no, Levi looks to the right. He doesn't find anyone because everyone has spawned early access. And Panico takes down Slash. The first kill of the round, and the Rook and the Dog unable to find anything going on there whatsoever.
Well, the Bandit hit the blitz, and to be fair, that's why they brought him. Cover those bullets. As you said, Monty would be very good in this kind of situation, but instead it turns out Blitz was the one that could suck those few bullets to his shoulders and then let someone else pick up the frag. But they are starting to push in and through. We will see how that translates to the defense. A lot of Black Dragons have fallen back to point, bringing those ACOGs to a slightly more defensive place. Shots rain across Ion's ankles, and he somehow survives.
What is this angle from Small holding it to stop? Because this is exactly what happens when you do this kind of thing. What are you doing, Small? Global takes down Ion. RDZ takes down iBlack. How is this man still alive? What's going on? Where's the refrag? GDN gonna go for the pre-fire, but no, he goes down as well. Team 1, get your act together and kill this Maestro in stock.
Yeah, that's a pretty crazy hold that Small is holding in the corner. But again, there's a lot about this game that I don't think I'll be able to forget for a while. Hugsword finds Global, starts entering onto the point. Here comes some more Candelas. Panico's still at the bottom of lobby. Levi finds Hugsword in and amongst the Candela going off. Maestro is creeping up square stairs, but Panico is hard pushing along Banana Lobby to try to cover the shoulder.
Yeah, it's just going to do Panico things. They're going to move all the way into the site. Takes down Levi with a headshot. There's beautiful bit of entry frag coming up from the Ash here. GDM moves into the site. Diffuser in hand. He's going to go for the plant, it looks like. That is a fairly dangerous plant. So Panico is just going to go down to RDZ. GDN left alone now. The fragmite all down to him. He's going to peek the wrong way and RDZ takes him down. Blood Dragons take round number 6 in their first defense.
Well.
I was going to say it. That was a very, very bad take from Team 1.
The Maestro was alive a lot longer than they should have been.
Think about it this way. If you're in stock and you go for a prone angle and somehow you get a kill doing it, and you stay there, knowing there's no way you could possibly rotate out there, and there's a Candelas on the board that Yin could easily pick you off, there could be nades on there, it's such a bad place to hold on to, and somehow, not only do you not get picked, you also then get the down onto the thermite. These things should not be happening. Even in like the ranked peak everything playstyle, there's the refrag potential from Team 1 has definitely dropped off a cliff since the last map.
So we're seeing Thermite, Blitz, Glaz, Jackal now. Jackal's been brought to the game. And Ash, obviously the amount of ACOGs has dropped off on the defenders. They're bringing a Pulse for the first time we've seen Pulse. This game leaves in Jaeger. Again, potentially worried about that Ying. But hey, for all I said about Ying being banned off and how powerful she could be without a Jaeger, I don't know if this match applies to standard. This is, you know, when you get charts when you're doing science in school and there's that one outlier data? This is that game. This is the outlier to, I don't know what facts I could give you and they'd stay relevant in this game.
10 seconds remaining.
We'll see how it does go down as we see Black Dragons will attempt their second defense now, as we will see a downstairs defense coming out from them. I mean, this is the default site normally, right? You know,
Yep.
It's much easier to hold on to than a lot of the other sites. We've seen much of the same operators, but a little bit of a mix-up in the roles coming out from Team 1.
Yes, they've gone for a little bit of a change, obviously. I'd be interested to see where they played that Pulse more than anything. Obviously, Globals is holding, you can see there, he's rotating up there, potentially changing places with Globals, or is he just going to play the connecting stairway? No.
Well, you normally see a Pulse playing gold, or you see him playing server stairs. Those are the places I would expect to see the Pulse being played right now, and I think that he is going to rotate into servers just now as he just go into there, but very aggressive hold still coming out from Blood Dragons right now.
Yeah.
Team 1 is still good drone out.
Yeah, they're generally quite forward, they're holding stairway angles, they're holding slightly open bits, they're kind of wanting them to fall into their peaks. Small, again, keeps re-peaking the garage entrance, obviously still has an Evilite in pocket as well, which I'm a little bit curious about.
A little bit curious, maybe he's just saving it for a rainy day, as Blood Dragon's still going to be holding down fairly slowly, getting a little bit less aggressive than they have been doing in previous rounds. We're still going to see the Jaeger, however, on server stairs. This is a fairly common strategy, but without a shield there, this is fairly easy for iBlacks who want to try and peek this as we move into the second half of the round.
You can see, again, I think everyone in the game is a bit confused when no one is dead yet at this point, but there's a lot of potential roam clear. They're starting to close down. iBlacks is still top floor worried about roam, but all of the defenders for the first time are on the floor of the point, dropping Hugsword's drone. Obviously, Blitz can make some ground here, wants to try and take this frag, but the barbed wire is what's slowing him down because it will physically slow him down. It'll give a lot of his game away. He needs a bit of speed, especially when he's got an Ash and a Jackal on his shoulder as well. But they really need to start bringing that Thermite a bit closer. You can hear the first one is going off. They need to try and get the second one to server wall.
Yeah. Looks like the server wall is going to be the main peak here. Panico instantly goes down to RDZ. How does that happen? I'm going to be peeking around the server room, but GDN does manage to take down RDZ. That smoke a little bit wasted from Ion's potential there, as he turns into a 3v4. Team 1 really do not have the utility to push into here. They're going to have to rely on a few entry frags. Flashbangs are going to come out to confirm there's no ADS there. Thermite will start to open up onto the server wall, but there's still so much utility on the board. iBlack takes down Globals, however. That's definitely going to be fairly worrying if you're a defender right now. Smokes are going to go out from Ion, and that should signal, but the spacing needs to be important here for Nitro doesn't go out from Levi right now. And yeah, it does! Beautiful Nitro from Levi, but wow, the awareness coming out from Team 1 was not good there. iBlack's going to drop down the hatch. Flashbangs go out, the ADS just catch it though, goes for the quick peek, takes, no, he doesn't take down one. Levi shuts him down with the 3K. Really beautiful play from Blood Dragons there, and a much safer defense, but just didn't affect the utilities at all. I mean, they really could have used the smoke there to bait out the Nitro and then go for a successful plant.
There was a lot of possibility. Obviously, I didn't see where one of the Texan Dynamites went down, but obviously they didn't blow open any of the CCTV walls there when they still, I believe, had the option to, which could have opened more sightlines for the Glaz to try and lock off that mirror. There was a lot of possibility, but I guess when you're playing the first round where, oh, hang on, we're not just fragging, it might put you a little bit off your foot. But hey, 4-3, we go to Staff Room, open area, and a Vigil is being bought, well, potentially for the first time. So we'll see how this translates.
We'll see how it translates. What started off as a very strong 3-0 lead for Team 1 has now been equalized out a little bit, and we're seeing not as aggressive play styles we were seeing earlier on.
No, everything's kind of calmed down. I think now that we're near the end of like the scoreline and where you could possibly go to, everyone's kind of gone, okay, wait, there's a cash prize for this tour. So,
yes, there is a $15,000 total prize pool, so definitely a lot to play for here. Definitely shouldn't be taking this less seriously than you would other things. Let's see how he goes down as we see Blood Dragon's going to be holding down. Let's see what they can do here. But
attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
I don't know. This is a very interesting site to try and hold on to with the way that Team 1 have taken a lot of their attacks so far.
The most common thing that I hear a lot of casters say when open gets picked, especially as a site, is they're using this site to take the attackers by surprise. And I think that kind of explains the point of a lot of places, because it's still very creative with what you can do. It's not normally the most familiar points. RDZ takes iBlacks, though, not wasting any time, that Vigil.
Pretty good spawn peek, I'm going to give it to him. You don't see a Vigil spawn peek every day, but iBlack's going to go off the board very early on. There's a very important pick coming out from the defense there. Team 1 are looking too good already. Not able to get the refrag onto RDZ. And yeah, they really need to start picking up the pace here.
Well, it's just crazy that we can say picking up the pace in a game that has evolved as this one has, but that is the joy of Siege. Ion gets the refrag, finally drops the illusion, which is probably going to be a big weight off their shoulders, knowing that obviously we've commented on the drone game from Team 1 before. It's kind of surprising this is the first time we've really seen a Lesion to go up against that. Wow, and I say Lesion, I meant Vigil because there is Lesion. It was Vigil that was stopping the drone game, and Lesion refragging.
Oh, but it's going to be Hugzord finding his own kill. Small going to go down. Beautifully played here from Hugzord, and just slowly going for this roam clear, slowly trying to find what's going on. Having a Jackal is definitely going to help with that. As Panico peeks it out, White Globals, why would you peek that? With the SMG-11, he's going to go down immediately. And that's a 3v2 situation, not looking too good at all here for Black Dragons. Completely turned against him with a very aggressive roam game coming out. Slash going to be left alone on the site. Having rotated the way down into open area. But Levi's actually going to rotate the way down onto square stairs, it looks like, as he comes down onto the top of them. But very interesting aggressive defense from Black Dragons.
So we are seeing Jackal consistently flicking onto Slash, forcing him out. Panico cooks and kills Levi. And there is Hugzord bringing it to 5-3. Again, that was Team 1 running some very tight strategy.
I just couldn't understand all of these wild rotations being made and all this aggressive roam play when there's a Jackal on the board and there's loads of drones on the board.
Yeah, that was the thing. And as I said, and incorrectly said for a little bit of time, but then corrected myself, Vigil, again, was a good pick against how Team 1 like to play. Obviously, you kind of give the game away if you're spawn peeking, because they know you're going to still be up there within the first arguable 20 seconds, 15 seconds of the round. And they were very quick to get the counter and shut that down. But it can definitely cause chaos on a team that loves to rely on drones. Or not even cause chaos, but slow them down. Slow them down. And on a map like Bank, where there is a lot of space and a lot of possibility to do that, might not be the worst thing in the world. But we go into match point. Capitao is joining the forces.
That is the first time we've seen a Capitao of the series, which is very, very surprising considering how much we see of Capitao in other maps.
Yeah, Capitao has really kind of shown, especially in this tournament so far, the amount of kind of Capitao plays and how he is structured into attackers' pushes has been pretty textbook so far.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see how it does go down as we see potentially the final round of the series here, in the final round for Black Dragons in this tournament. We'll see how it goes down, as we do see a CEO defense coming out here for Black Dragons and looking like a fairly aggressive one, as we see Levi, Slash, and Smalls all with the ACOG here.
And everything is to play for, and everything's on the wire. Peek everything, apparently. But we will see if they're ready to counter. To be fair, their initial counter of the first one of these peaks, they did manage to get a counter pick on it. But you can see Slash looking for Capitao, and be ready for it. You know that they're going to do that. They've done it every time.
Well, apparently Iblex, if you just run fast enough, the bullets can't penetrate you. Iblex will survive that encounter. There's another day to tell his tale. Black Dragons not looking as strong as they may have been on other defenses, but I do like the setup.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that combines with, obviously, the kind of aggression that they've been playing. There goes a Maestro with some very nice shooting there. Again, if you're Team 1, you've got to be, as I said, a little bit concerned about those peaks and those aggression, or the aggression that you've already felt from Black Dragons and done yourself. So again, I'm kind of surprised that Capitao wasn't a bit more aware of that happening, but it looks like he even hung around to try to bait out the firefight a little bit afterwards as well, so...
Yeah, no castle coming down, however, is a little bit confusing here, I gotta admit. It's going to be interesting to see Hugzog just going for this peak wall. I'm surprised that Levi is trying to contest him here, as Ion will make his way up onto Banana. See what he can do here. Hugzog takes down Slash with a beautiful headshot all the way onto the rappel. Looking pretty good for Ion to try and make his entry in here, because he's not actually giving himself away, but RDZ on the flank will manage to find Panico. As already the Zofia off the board. There's a pretty big pick coming out from the defenders onto the attackers. Let's see if the attackers can find any picks of their own. I'm going to move all the way through. Looking pretty strong getting into the objective here. Could pop the mirror, but that would give his position away right now. He moves all the way around, waiting for the drone intel to come through from GDN to make sure he is free to move around. GDN does spot him, but it's going to be Iblex who takes down one. Blugzord takes down one. Ion takes down one. And now it's a 1v4, all into the hands of Small right now as he moves through onto the hallway, trying to maybe push into the Janitor closet. It's 1 minute left remaining. The plant should start going down sooner rather than later from GDN. Not looking too good, and Small is going to get peeked out. They know exactly where he is. He does have a Maestro cam right next to him. So if someone does push him, he could peek it out. And what a shot from Small. Takes the head clean off of Ion. And I think the rest of the team one are like, okay, can we not throw this round, please? And they're just going to plant the diffuser. Well, they have the utility of the Capitao as well.
Well, the diffuser's gone down, but so has Small. In a game that could also be equated to being a fever dream. That was something else.
Yeah, and they will take Bank and the series. Beautifully played. Both maps going into the favor of Team 1 to 6-3 scoreline. Very well from them. 2-0. Kind of an expected scoreboard to see how Black Dragons were playing earlier in the tournament.
Yeah, I said at the beginning of this was Black Dragons' set up to prove themselves. This was their 3 maps to try and bring it, and they brought something, and they started to show signs in the first map of the coordination. The second map, they met fire with fire, and you can't really blame them in that kind of setup. Those things snowball, but unfortunately, Team 1, they just showed up a little bit better today.
Unfortunate indeed. We are going to take about a 10-minute break here before we get into our second match of the day. Should be Team Liquid who take on Bootcamp Gaming. Stick around, we'll be right back.